I'm John Costin. I own Veneer Services Unlimited. We're not able to provide health insurance for our employees. We can't afford to do it. I get my health insurance through my wife's job, but she just got laid off this spring. Small businesses are very important for the Maine economy. Being able to provide health insurance will allow my business to be more competitive. There's a bill in Congress that would lower health care costs for businesses and families. We need to tell Senators Snowe and Collins that they can make a difference.
We will change this country, and we will change the world. Thank you, Minnesota. I love you.
But now he's pushing a risky health care plan that would cut Medicare, raise taxes, ration care, and explode the deficit. Mr. President, let's slow down and do health care reform the right way. The Republican Party of Minnesota is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Seems like the politicians in Washington are spending money faster than the mint can print it. Billions for stimulus, billions for bailouts, and billions for their own pet projects. Now, the president wants Congress to raise taxes and pass his $634 billion health care overhaul budget without telling them all the details of his plan. Call Congress today. Tell them they shouldn't be raising taxes and spending billions to mess with your health care without a detailed plan.
Today, a national TV network turns its airwaves over to President Obama's pitch for government-run health care. Shouldn't this be a bipartisan discussion? Republicans want health care reform that reduces costs across the board. Republicans believe every single American deserves quality health care. Republicans also believe another government takeover would diminish health care choice and quality. President Obama talks about a, quote, public option. When he says public option, that means putting government bureaucrats in charge instead of patients and their doctors. It's a bad idea. Republicans want bipartisan health care reform, a responsible plan that we can afford, where people are free to choose the best care for their families without a government takeover. Tell President Obama to work with Republicans and to stop rushing into another government takeover. The Republican National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Washington's latest health reform idea, $1 trillion health plan and a government-run public option with big tax increases, even on health benefits. And the federal deficit? The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the deficit will grow $239 billion. Inflated taxes, swelling deficits, and expanded government control over your health. Tell Congress let's slow down and reform health care the right way.
Despite what the President or Congress say, their health care proposals do not guarantee you can keep your own doctor. They don't guarantee you won't wait longer for care. There's no guarantee against health care rationing, and no guarantee you won't lose your current insurance. That's because the President's public option plan could lead to government-run health care. Don't be fooled. Tell President Obama to drop his government-run public option plan.
Deep inside the stimulus bill, Congress buried an innocent-sounding board, the Federal Coordinating Council for Comparative Effectiveness Research. It's not so innocent. It's the first step in government control over your healthcare choices. This federal council is modeled after the national board that controls Britain's health system. Listen to Britain's Dr. Carol Sikora about what happens to patients once the government takes over.
They'll lose their own choice completely, lose control of their own destiny within the medical system.
Not only could a government board deny your choice in doctors, but it can control life and death for some patients. Ask Canada's Dr. Brian Day about bureaucrats rationing care.
Patients are languishing and suffering on wait lists. Our own Supreme Court of Canada has stated that patients are actually dying as they wait for care.
Tell Congress you won't trade your doctor for a national board of bureaucrats. Let's put patients first.
Many in Washington want to bring change to healthcare, but what kind of change? The same change as in Massachusetts, where they say whether you want it or not, you will buy health insurance. It's mandatory. But does this work for everyone? Take this doofus-looking guy. His name is Justin. He's in good health, loves to bike while wearing this completely ridiculous outfit. He buys his own health insurance. And if he lived in Massachusetts, Justin would be a criminal. You see, Justin opted for an individual, high-deductible insurance policy. If he gets sick or hurt, he pays the first $5,000, and the insurance company picks up the rest. This keeps the cost low so he can afford it, but it keeps him covered in case he doesn't see that oncoming bus. The bureaucrats, however, think they know what Justin needs better than he does. The maximum deductible allowed in Massachusetts is $2,000, making the policies too expensive for people like him. Now Justin is forced to use taxpayer money in order to buy a policy he can't afford and doesn't want. Justin shouldn't be a criminal for buying affordable health care. He should be a criminal for wearing those clothes. If you believe in responsible free market health care reform, join us.
It's an old joke. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. But applied to healthcare, it could mean taking away your choice.
Some want the government to offer a health insurance plan, but experts say a government plan could result in 119 million Americans coming off their existing coverage. They'd end up on a government-run plan, leaving no choice. And that's no joke.
Tell Congress any plan that takes away your choice in healthcare is not an option.
I got laid off about 2 months ago, and the COBRA payments are extremely high.
I'm being penalized for taking a brand name drug when it's the only drug that works for me, and there is no generic.
I've worked all my life, I've paid my taxes. I feel like I've done what I should have done, and now there's no help.
Americans want health care reform now. We need more affordable coverage, lower drug costs, and real access to long-term care. Let's make it happen. Americans want health action now.
If Obama's public health insurance option passes, it will be a disaster for us. It will be terrible. I know, right? A cheap, affordable plan like that, it's just going to force insurance companies to lower their rates to compete.
A public health care plan means affordable health care for everyone. And you know what that means.
More healthy people living longer.
This guy's killing us.
I know. How's a guy supposed to make a living?
Paid for by MoveOn.org Civic Action.